Half of the fifth inning tonight. David Bell, Kenny Lofton, Omar Vizquel due up against Orlando Hernandez. And Charles finally got that double play ball that he needed. And the big at bat of the game, Rick, if you look back, might be to Tim Raines, because Charles had him no balls, 2 strikes. Eventually walked him, and he came around to get that whole thing started.
Yes, he did.
The other walk by Nagy in the inning was intentional to Chad Curtis. And what followed after that walk was a base hit to left by Brocious to drive in a run, and a base hit to right by Knobloch to drive in another run before Soho grounded into the inning-ending double play. 2 balls to Bell, and he fouls it back, 2-1.
See, that's where you get the count in your favor. 2-0. He got the fastball away, but just happened to foul it off.
And David is struggling right now at the plate. He's 0 for his last 14.
Well, that ball he hit last night got Rosado out of the game. That guy was pitching brilliant. He hit a bullet. It just hit Rosado.
A piece of that one to even it out at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yes, if Rosado's not standing there, it's into center field in a heartbeat. But Hernandez has been tough when he's gotten in trouble. In the 3rd and the 4th, the Indians had a runner at 3rd and 1 out, and he proceeded to strike out the next 2 batters in each case. Ramirez and Thome in the 3rd, Witten and Borders in the 4th, and he strikes out Bell to make it 3 strikeouts in a row. Let's check out our DIY Home Warehouse game recap at the midway point tonight. Hernandez has been tough. He's got 6 strikeouts now in the ball game. Charles Nagy's thrown 72 pitches. So has Hernandez as he pitches here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Indians are 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. The Yankees have capitalized so far. Kenny Lofton extending his hitting streak to 5 in a row. He's now 10 for his last 17. Excuse me, 10 for 18. He has struck out and doubled. He pulled a double to right. Things have, as you mentioned, started to come together, and I think the bunting has probably helped him. He's been looking away a lot in terms, but he's still been able to turn on the pitches when they come inside.
I think that's a good when Kenny's there. It keeps him on the ball, and he just reacts in, and he's been able to pull a couple pitches very hard.
Shows bunt, but takes ball 2 downstairs.
You know, when you can't get that fastball in there on Kenny, you're in trouble, because he'll look that way, he'll bunt that way, he'll go the other way. And he's terrific when he's on base because he makes things happen.
There's a strike. It's 2-1. Lofton has got his average up to 286 now with his 1 for 2 tonight, and his mini surge here of hitting in 5 straight games, going back to Sunday in New York when he went 3 for 3, including a homer. And that off-speed breaking ball is in for strike 2.
Well, Hernandez certainly has an assortment of off-speed pitches. This is the curveball. It comes on the backside. The left-handers he's been throwing that. He's also got an excellent changeup. That's it right there.
And he missed with it low and away to make it 3-2.
See, the curveball was at 72 miles an hour. The changeup at 77, and his fastball has been between 88 and 90. So there's 3 variations of speeds right there.
And Lofton goes the other way, base hit into center field. Kenny stayed back well that time, reached out and drilled that 88-mile-an-hour fastball for a base hit.
Watch how Kenny keeps the hands back. He gets out, keeps the hands back. That was an excellent pitch by Hernandez. That ball down and away. Look at that pitch. Now that's certainly a pitcher's pitch, but Kenny does a nice job. So you tip your hat to Lofton as he gets the 5th hit, his 2nd in a row.
Vizquel has no official at-bats. He's walked and sacrificed tonight. The Indians have had base runners in every inning so far.
Well, we'll see if Kenny now has a read on Hernandez.
Let me ask you about a base stealer and what your approach to it was. When you're on the bench, is it easier to try to figure him out when you're at first than it is watching on the bench?
Well, yeah, unless you're in the first base dugout where you can see his backside and look for something to. Oh, Kenny had to flinch. See, it's tougher from the third base dugout because you're looking at the front of him. When you're at first base, you're looking at the back of him, and you're going to look at the front side of his body. I don't care if it's the back of his knee, his hip, maybe even his front heel. But there's going to be something that he's going to tip when he goes to the plate. That's the angle you want to see it from.
He does come to the plate and misses high and away.
And there have been times what he does just to this point when we've had runners on first is change the rhythm. You know, he'll hold it one time, he'll start a little quicker, and there is times where he'll lift that leg when he wants to throw a breaking ball.
It's pretty obvious that even though he's very young to American baseball, that this guy knows how to pitch.
Oh yeah, baseball is baseball no matter where you play it, but I mean when you get it at this level.
It's 1-1 as he gets the breaking ball in to Vizquel. Game one of a big 4-game weekend series between these two teams. The Yankees leading the East, the Indians leading the Central. Lofton draws a third throw over by Orlando Hernandez. He's only lost one game in his professional career. It was in A-ball down in Tampa. Lofton has to scoot back again 4 times. He has gone over there.
There's not many times you see Kenny diving back. You know, he doesn't have a great lead. He's just going back. It's not a quick dive where it's urgent, but most of the times he goes back standing up.
Like that.
So he's just going to wait until he gets a feel that he can get a read.
Well, the one thing that is happening with the 5 times he's gone over, at least he's getting a look at what he does in these situations. So he has come over the first 5 times. Now he goes through a set of signs with his catcher. Vizquel hits it on the ground. Could be 2. There's the flip to Soho on to first. And the Yankees return the favor. A double play by New York, their second of the night, ends the 5th inning. Top half of inning number 6. O'Neill, who doubled with 2 outs in the 4th inning, will bat. The Yankees have a 2-0 lead. The Indians now have out-hit the Yankees 5-4. This one is hit on 2 hops to Jim Thome. 1 pitch and 1 out as we start inning number 6. Let's check in for a second time tonight with Matt Underwood.
John, Yankee shortstop Derek Jeter is beginning a really brief rehab assignment for the Yankees tonight. He's with Columbus. They're in Durham, North Carolina. He's expected to be activated from the disabled list with that strained abdominal muscle tomorrow. Last night, Jeter took live batting practice with the Yankees in Baltimore, and then during the game in the 4th inning, he was hit on the hand by a splintered bat. That bat belonged to, of all people, Luis Soho, the guy who's replacing him right now at shortstop.
2 pitches, 2 outs. Check out our Lowe's nose this day in Major League Baseball history. June 18, 1950. 14 runs in the 1st inning, and they went on to a squeaker 21-2 over the Philadelphia A's. Tell you what, we have not had any real lopsided games. We had the big shutout against the Pirates, and then the win in the middle game of the series against Kansas City, kind of lopsided. But for the most part, everything's been pretty tight-fisted in the last couple of weeks.
Well, yeah, the starting pitchers have been fantastic, and they have not given up a lot of runs. And offensively, they really haven't gotten on a surge and scored many runs.
Well, coming into tonight, in the last 20 games, the starters with a 12-5 record and a 2.66 ERA. The staff itself 12-8 in those 20 games with a 2.76 earned run average.
Doesn't get much better than that, does it?
No, it does not. 1-1 on Raines with 2 outs. Bases empty. Top half of inning number 6. Raines fouls it back. A reminder about Tribe Take 2. We'll have it for you tomorrow at noon on Fox Sports Ohio. A condensed 2-hour version of tonight's ball game, and I think the one that played Wednesday didn't cut out anything, did we?
No.
Following the effort by Cologne.
2-hour and 8-minute game.
Raines again jackknifes out of the way to even the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Good pitching matchups throughout this series, starting with tonight as we get our first look at Hernandez. Been everything that has been advertised. As for the 2nd straight time, Nagy goes to 3-2 on Tim Raines.
And that's how he's been trying to get Tim Raines out. He's been going inside with that fastball, and they've just been in off the plate. He hasn't been able to hit that inside corner.
Full count. This one is chopped toward David Bell. He'll have to hurry. throws in time. The Yankees go in order. We'll go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. The Indians will have the heart of the order. Ramirez, Thome, and Fryman.
Baseball on Fox Sports Ohio is brought to you by your Chevy Network dealers. It's where Northeast Ohio is going. Your Chevy is ready. By BW3 Grill and Pub, the home of the real wing and a preferred restaurant of the tribe. And by DIY Home Warehouse, for all of the comforts of your home.
Ready to go back to work here in the bottom half of the 6th inning at Jacobs Field tonight. Ramirez, who struck out his last time up, man, he's 0 for 2. He will lead it off. I knew it was a Yankee series when I was driving to the ballpark coming down 14th Street. I got behind somebody with Ohio plates on their car, but it was a vanity plate that said Bronx.
Obviously, they moved here from New York, huh?
Guess so. We'll check out our Sherwin-Williams scoreboard during this half of the inning. Hernandez to Ramirez, and it's ball 1 on a breaking pitch. As we told you earlier, we do now have 2 10-game winners, as Aaron Seeley picked up number 10 for Texas this afternoon. 2 balls, no strikes. He wants to stay away to those right-handers, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Yankees got both runs in the 5th inning. RBI singles to Brocious, and Chuck Knobloch as it's skied to shallow left center field. Curtis makes the call and the catch. Sherwin-Williams scoreboard. First of all, the American League tonight. It is a 3-2 win by the Rangers. Kansas City leads Detroit in the 5th inning tonight. Boston 5-3 over Tampa there in the 7th. Toronto 4-0 over Baltimore in the 5th inning. 3-0 Minnesota leading the White Sox in Chicago, and Anaheim and Seattle coming up. What about the NL?
Arizona over Cincinnati 4-2. 3-2 Florida over Atlanta. Chicago beating Philadelphia 12-5. Mets and Montreal 3-2 in the 6th. No score in Pittsburgh, Milwaukee, St. Louis, and Houston. The rest of the games are later on.
Now that's a 2nd straight pitch to Jim Thome, and that spot in the zone that has been called a strike. And it's almost in a spot that's unhittable. Thome takes that one. It evens the count. Paul Sorrento is homered for Tampa Bay, along with Kelly. For Paul, his 8th. Kelly hit his 4th. Cordova, a home run for Minnesota, number 5. It came in the 2nd inning of that game tonight. And let's see how they pitched Jim Thome in his last at bat by checking out supervision. They tried to do to Jim.
Everything was away. See that one fastball 93 up and in, but everything away and away, and variations of speeds.
Jim has walked and struck out so far tonight. There's a bouncer to second base. Hopper to Knobloch. He takes care of Jim Thome, and there are 2 outs here in the 6th inning. By the way, in that 4-2 win for Arizona over Cincinnati, they get their first ever sweep on the road to the Diamondbacks. Anderson got the win. He's 5th of the year. Krivda and Shaw also pitched in that ball game for Cincinnati. Florida beating Atlanta 3-2. That denies Glavine his 10th win of the year. He is 9-3 as he took the loss. Bouncing ball to third, another 2-hopper, and this is an easy inning for Hernandez. We move to the 7th, 2-0 New York. Darryl Strawberry doubled and scored in that 2-run New York 5th. That's the difference in the ball game. Plenty of home runs at Wrigley Field today. Brown hit 3 for the Cubbies. Strawberry takes a strike. Hernandez hit 1, and Rodriguez hit his 13th. For the Phillies, Roland with number 14. Guerrero is homered for Montreal tonight, his 13th, and White also hit his 13th home run tonight. Strawberry also flied out to deep center field in this ball game. Pops that one foul and out of play. Let's check out our Wendy's trivia question for tonight's ball game. It's brought to you by Wendy's Old Fashioned Hamburgers, where quality is our recipe. The only player to appear in 500 games for 4 different teams: the Mets, the Tigers, the Astros, and the Expos. That's a line toward Lofton in center field. He makes the play. That's not easy, is it, Rick?
No, that might be the toughest ball that an outfielder has, is that ball hit right at you. So this will be our Discover Card playback for Kenny Lofton. A bullet off the bat of Darryl Strawberry. Kenny just continues to come in and make a nice sliding catch. That ball hit right at you. You don't know if it's going to take off or it's going to sink, but you'll see Kenny going to his knees and putting it away for out number 1.
Brings up Jose Posada. One strike on him. He struck out his last time up. That's the only strikeout that Charles Nagy had. It came with runners at second and third, nobody out. In the intentional walk and a couple of RBI singles followed, and that's the difference in the ball game right now. As it's 1-1.
Well, at this point, Charlie has pitched a fine ball game. It's just this is what happens the last couple times he's been out there. Offensively, they haven't been able to get on track on his day.
Sometimes it's not how you pitch, it's when you pitch. Of course, Charles,
that's how it is most of the time.
He's been on the other side of that ledger too. Nights when he hasn't pitched that well and he's gotten victories. Looking for his 8th of the season tonight. He is 7-3 coming in. The 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. 2-2.
Charlie pulls the string on Posada here with the 2-1 count. Nice changeup, and you'll see him really pulling out, trying to hit that ball a mile.
Inside corner, and he strikes him out for the 2nd straight time.
And that is his 2 strikeouts on the night. This time he goes right back in there with the fastball. Posada thinking that ball is inside. Let's take a look at it high atop Jacobs Field on wing cam. Gets a call on the inside corner. I think that's the toughest pitch to get called, from an umpire, is that pitch in on the hands to any hitter, whether it's right-handed or left-handed.
The batter Curtis, who's flied out to deep center and been intentionally walked tonight. He takes ball 1. The Indians trailing 2-0. In the opener of this big 4-game weekend series. That's hit hard down the left field line. Witten will go over and watch it kip up against the wall. Curtis on his way to second as Mark has trouble handling the ball, so no chance for him to challenge Curtis, but with his speed I think that's a double all the way.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. That ball hit the grass first, so it killed it on the bounce, and he was going to have to barehand it anyway. Curtis turns on this off-speed pitch and drills it down the left field line. See, if it hits that track, it bounces up. He may have had a chance, but he was going to have to barehand it and make an excellent throw. But Curtis, better than average speed, cruises into second with a 2-out double. So that's the 3rd double for the Yankees tonight.
3 of their 5 hits have been doubles, and it was Strawberry's double that chased Raines to third following the walk that set up the 2-run 5th inning. So now Charles Nagy deals with Scott Brocious, who reached him for a base hit and an RBI his last time up. Scott batting .315.
Not bad for a 9th place hitter, huh? He's got 42 RBIs as well.
Not bad at all. And his foul at home plate and evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
He's a guy that struggled a little bit last year with the Oakland A's, but I think the year before he had his career year.
Yeah, that was when he hit 22 home runs.
Right.
For the Athletics and batted .304. He's always hit for pretty good average, but his power numbers were up and then they were down last year. He had only 11 home runs last year, and he's already surpassed last year's RBI total.
Well, that's what happens when you take him. You're only as good as the hitters that surround you. You put him in a lineup like the Yankees with some excellent hitters, takes the pressure off him where, when they had McGuire and Steinbach, it was a little easier for him. But you take those guys out of the lineup and it puts more pressure on him, and he's forced to do more things, and you just don't do it.
Good point. It's 2-1 on him here. with Curtis on at second. It's grounded to short. Vizquel makes the play. Throws on to Tomey, and the 2-out double, but no damage. Time for the 7th inning stretch in a 2-0 ball game. Ready now for the bottom half of the 7th inning. Hope you've been working on the Wendy's trivia question, because I think Rick and I might be all over this one.
Well, let's see. Online, we've got a question from Dennis and Solon. If the DH goes into the field to play a position, say for example David Justice, who's hitting right now, what happens to the batting order? Well, David can go into the field, but what happens? You lose your DH, and then all of a sudden the pitcher has to hit.
That is correct. Hits are even at 5 apiece, but the Yankees have a 2-0 lead. The Yankees have 4 shutouts to their credit. The first pitch is ball 1 to Justice, who has a base hit and has bounced out to first baseman Tino Martinez. 1 for 2 tonight. And he gets that call on the outside corner, and that, I say, one thing about the home plate umpire, he's been consistent. He's given that pitch to the outside of the left-handed batter. It's like that. That one a little low.
Well, I'll tell you what, El Duque's been hitting it all night long. This guy has amazed me with his control. I think Mel Stottlemyre's right. When you watch him pitch, he just, very few pitches have been down the middle of the plate. Boy, he's been on the edges, he's been down, and he's been changing speeds. Terrific.
2-2. Justice leading off the bottom of the 7th inning. Able to lay off of that breaking pitch in the dirt that runs it full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The Indians in 4 consecutive innings, the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, had the leadoff man aboard. Twice in the 3rd and 4th, that leadoff hit was a double. And they're still being shut out. 3-2. That time he did not get the call. Check out the answer to our Wendy's trivia question. The only guy to appear in 500 games for 4 different teams. Mets, Tigers, Astros, and Expos. And when he was with Montreal, they called him Le Grand Orange.
Orange, you got it. John was all over this. Rusty Staub. What a terrific career he had.
Here's Whitten. Grounded into a double play and struck out. 0 for 2 tonight. The Indians, for the 5th time in 7 innings, have a leadoff man aboard. But yes, that's still a 0 you see in the Fox box. 2-0 New York. The Yankees did all of their damage back in the 5th inning.
Well, Joe from Menor online wants to know if how often do starting pitchers practice from the stretch? And does a lack of practice lead to being ineffective with runners on base? Well, they go down on their side days and they will throw.
There's a base hit right field. Justice stops at second. Hit number 6 for the Indians, and they have a start to this 7th inning with 2 on and nobody out. You want to continue?
Yeah, I will as soon as we see Mark Whitten swing right there on a nice changeup. That way he finally stayed back on it and hit it into right field. So now the Indians with another start to another inning, and see if they can capitalize on that.
Mel Stottlemyre is going to visit the mound, so this will give you a chance to go ahead and finish up your answer to that question.
All right, on days where starting pitchers, they will go out into the bullpen and work. They'll also work from the full windup, but also the stretch. I mean, they'll work on all their pitches, so they do get their work out of the stretch. It's not like they just do it when runners are on base.
And right now we want to check out our new Dodge home run leaders in the American League. Ken Griffey Jr. leads the way with 26. A-Rod has 24. And Juan Gonzalez, Jose Canseco, and Mo Vaughn of the Boston Red Sox. He is not yet serving that 5-game suspension that has been levied against him, so Mike Stanton warms up.
Did he appeal that? I wonder. He must be if he's still able to play.
Number 10, Pat Borders.
It'll be Pat Borders, who is 1 for 2. And this is the first time tonight that the crowd has really tried to get a little bit into this ball game. They've kind of been sitting on their heels a little bit, even though they had good starts, did the Indians, to several innings from the second inning on.
Well, this is a situation where you're down 2, bottom of the 7th. You're certainly looking for the sacrifice to try and move the runners up. They have moved the runners tonight. They just have not gotten them home.
Well, back in the 3rd and the 4th innings, they had a runner at 3rd. Borders tries to bunt and misses. It's a strike. They had a runner at 3rd and 1 out, and we're not able to get that runner in. But if Pat can move them up, that'll give them a couple of shots at maybe tying the ball game with runners at 2nd and 3rd. No balls, 1 strike. This he bunts it, but it's going to be foul, so it'll be 0-2. Let's take off right now while we have a moment with Continental Airlines around the majors. And Dave, Steve
How
is
about
back
that?
with Toronto at 40 years of age. The Astros have signed a lease on their new stadium, which is going to be in downtown Houston in Arizona. As we just touched on briefly, their first ever 3-game series sweep that comes against the Reds in Synergy Field. Unfortunately for Jack McKeon and crew, huh? Well, here the Indians have 2 on and nobody out. Borders has tried to bunt twice, and he's down, no balls, 2 strikes. Plays off a breaking ball. One and 2. 101 pitches now for Orlando Hernandez.
It's not bad when you consider 26, was it, in the 1st inning?
Borders was going to bunt again. He pulled the bat back.
No, I think he was going to do that on his own, because Mike Hargrove looks like he took it off after the 0-2 count, and Borders right there, I think, with Brocious playing back behind 3rd, might have been bunting for a base hit. Gets the breaking ball away. Doesn't go after it, holds up.
We're in the bottom of the 7th. The game is 2 hours old at this point. A very well pitched, well played ball game to this point. The Indians have had their chances, have not been able to take advantage of their scoring opportunities, and the Yankees did the one real good shot they had by getting 2 in the 5th inning. Again, that breaking ball nowhere near the strike zone, and it's 3-2. Well, this is what we've been waiting to hear, a little noise from the crowd, huh?
Well, they're waiting for some offense and some runs, and they usually get loud. The Borders going from 0-2 to 3-2.
Fastball is right there for strike 3.
Boy, and he comes back to make a perfect pitch.
That's his 7th strikeout of the night.
Comes down, he dropped that arm angle a little bit, and a lot of times that's been the breaking ball. But tonight, or on that pitch there to Pat Borders, a perfect pitch, outside edge, strike 3.
And that might have been his best fastball of the night at 90 miles an hour. Borders called out, then David Bell, who is 0 for 2. He is struck out and bounced in front of the plate. It was picked up by Posada, who threw him out. So there's an out. And every time he's gotten in trouble, he's used that strikeout to his advantage. Bell, chopper to 3rd. They'll go across the diamond. The throw is in time to take care of David. The runners move up. The tying runs are in scoring position for Kenny Lofton, who has 2 of the 6 hits tonight. David Bell back to the dugout now, 0 for his last 15. And Posada and Hernandez are going to talk about Kenny Lofton a little bit. The Indians get a couple of pitchers up in their bullpen as Plunk and Mormon begin to work. Charles Nagy has given up just 5 hits tonight, 3 of them doubles, and has allowed 2 runs. Lofton has a double and a single. becomes the third time in the last 5 innings that the Indians have had runners at third. This time it's second and third, so the tying runs are in scoring position for Kenny Lofton, but the Indians have not come through with the big hit so far tonight, and Lofton is down a strike.
Well, Kenny, first time when he hit his double, hit a fastball in. The second time up when he hit the single, hit the fastball away.
That was a fastball down and away. Justice got a walk to start the inning. Whitten singled to right. And Kenny's down, no balls and 2 strikes.
Well, fooled on this pitch, change up, and you'll see not a very good swing, so he's going to check out. And you know, you just wonder if they're feeling the pressure of trying to get that first run in, because they have had a couple opportunities tonight. Well, he's really got to go up there and battle now.
Yeah, the advantage definitely to Orlando Hernandez. Lofton pops it foul, stays alive. He just wasted that one. That'll give him another pitch to look at.
Tell you what, Hernandez wanted that ball. He was out in front of the Indians dugout. Came all the way from the pitcher's mound.
Lofton batting with runners at second and third. Kenny has good numbers with runners in scoring position, a .328 average this year.
But the Indians in their last 2 games, 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position and 2 out.
They've got another shot at it right here. Last night they could not get the key hits. Lofton's 3-run homer was the offense for the Indians in that loss to the Royals. The 0-2 pitch, fouled it away. He got ahead of him with that changeup in the dirt, and he's come back with a couple of, well, that was a fastball anyway at 91 miles an hour.
Yeah, but I mean, to put those in play are awfully tough. He's making pitches that are off the plate. They're close enough where as a hitter you have to go out there and swing. You can't take that pitch because it's been called for a strike tonight.
That's exactly right. That pitch right there to the left-handers has been called a strike all night long by Tim Tashida. So it's still no balls, 2 strikes. Lofton takes a ball. One and 2. The Indians, Mike Hargrove, hitting coach Charlie Manuel, getting their very first look at this 28-year-old from Cuba. Again, that one just does drop out of strike zone. Pretty good patience to lay off of those pitches.
Well, it's good patience, but it's also good pitching, because he's not going to give in. He's trying to get these guys to swing at his pitch. And you know, when you get ahead in the count, you can do that as a pitcher. He has really impressed me tonight, as a matter of fact, with his control, the way he's changed speeds, and the way you see hitters out in front taking pitches.
Well, let's see where he's pitched Kenny Lofton in this at bat. And everything has been pretty much in the same area, down and away.
And I would assume it's going to stay that way.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Lofton goes the other way and fouls it off.
Kenny will have to go get a piece of lumber, because that ball away, he hit it off the end and cracked his bat. Well, remember, your summer party isn't really complete without a big order of award-winning BW3 wings with 12 signature sauces from mild to blazing. And that's your favorite, isn't it? The
Yes,
blazing wings. There's a BW3 wing for everyone. BW3 Grill and Pub. It's a preferred restaurant of the Cleveland Indians.
Or maybe 1 notch down from blazing. Okay.
Blazing? Okay. Super hot.
Still 2 and 2. Ball game is in the bottom of the 7th inning. Justice walked, Whitten singled. They moved up on the ground out by Bell, which came after the strikeout of Borders, and Lofton with a little tapper that trickles foul. And Hernandez covers a lot of ground, doesn't he? He charged after that one.
Yeah, he's all over the place. He wants this out. He's running out of his shoes. Look at him hustling to get that ball.
But Lofton has battled. He's gotten back in the count at 2 and 2. He was down 0-2 and then fouled off a couple of pitches before looking at a couple of balls down and out of the strike zone. So it continues. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Justice and Witten lead away from third and second. Line drive right field, base hit. 1 run is in. Here comes Witten. Here comes the throw from the outfield. He goes in standing up and scores. Witten out at second is Lofton, but the game is tied at 2. Kenny delivers the 2-run, 2-out single, and the game is tied. Go to the top of the 8th inning. It'll be the top of the New York order. Knobloch, Soho, and O'Neill due up against Charles Nagy, who gets new life. That's rifled toward Lofton in center field. He's right there for the out. Let's take you back to Lofton's game-tying base hit.
Well, it's the first 2-out hit they've had in 2 days. Kenny really battled for this base hit. And I'll tell you, Mark Witten did a good job of getting a jump at second base. This is a hard hit ball, and Paul O'Neill with a great arm. You'll see Justice comes in to score. Here comes Witten, but the throw was offline and it was high enough where Posada could get it, throw Kenny out at second base, but he tried to get in scoring position, and Kenny ties this ball game up at 2. Terrific at bat for Lofton.
So Lofton, who was down in the count, no balls, 2 strikes, and then had to foul off 2 more pitches. It was still no balls, 2 strikes. He did get back in the count at 2-2 and got a pitch he could handle. So now Soho, who is 0 for 3. Backs away from a fastball inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, the Indians bullpen up and throwing. Got the lefty and the righty up.
There's a strike. It's 1-1.
And after Soho, you've got a steady diet of left-handers, and
but they went away from the 2 that they had. They had Plunk and Mormon up, and instead they go to Shuey and Assenmacher. That's foul. You could see Fryman was playing right there on the line.
You're going to play right on the line late in the ball game when it's tied. Charlie, a breaking ball pitcher, have a tendency to pull it. Look how close Travis is, and you can see it's clearly foul.
On the other side of the diamond, Jim Thome is hugging that line to first as well.
Take the doubles and give the singles.
Did he go? Yes, sir.
Well, that was a nonchalant call from John Shulak as Charlie gets out number 2. It is his 3rd strikeout. And I had a feeling this was going to happen. You'll see him checking, and Soho does go around. And that's going to bring out Mike Hargrove for the left-handers in the New York lineup. So for Charles Nagy, just another great performance. His 3rd good performance of giving up just 2 runs. And he'll have nothing to show for it.
Very strong outing for Charles Nagy. He gives up 2 runs on 5 hits. He pitches 7 2/3 innings, and Mike Hargrove will make the Ameritech call to the bullpen when we come back. A nice round of applause for Charles Nagy. He acknowledges those that are on their feet, and a well-deserved cheer for Charles because he went 7 2/3, 5 hits, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks. He allows 2 runs. He pitched a very strong game here tonight, keeping the Indians in it.
No doubt about it. It was just the 5th inning where a couple of base hits they scored. But other than that, Charlie very sharp tonight. One of his better outings in a while. And he has really, last 3 games, as we said, pitched very well with nothing to show for it. But that'll bring on Paul Assenmacher for the 32nd time. A record of 2-3, 318 earned run average. And with Joe Torre's left-handed part of the lineup coming in, Mike Hargrove decides, Charlie, thank you. You did a great job, and I'm going to go left-hander versus left-hander now.
And that's a good decision because Paul O'Neill, who will be the batter, is 3 for 22 against Assenmacher. That's a 136 average. And he has 9 strikeouts.
Well, maybe that'll give Charlie a chance after this inning's over. If Paul can get out of it.
Get a little sushi?
Get a little sushi, that's right. He loves his sushi. That's coming from Ginza tonight. So the boys in the clubhouse will have some Japanese food.
And one more time tonight, let's check in while we have a moment with Matt Underwood.
John, Yankee pitcher Mike Stanton was suspended by American League President Gene Budick for 5 games. Monday night, he hit Eric Davis immediately after Rafael Palmeiro hit a 3-run home run for Baltimore. Now, Stanton is very angry, and he plans to appeal that suspension. He feels that only 3 people believe he really hit Davis on purpose: Budick, Orioles manager Ray Miller, and home plate umpire John Hirschbeck. Ironically, Stanton's suspension wasn't supposed to begin anyway until after the Yankees leave Cleveland. That suspension originally slated to begin on Tuesday.
And that's why he was up and throwing as O'Neill fouls off the first pitch from Assenmacher. .327 average for O'Neill. He doubled with 2 outs in the 4th inning. He's also flied to left and bounced out to Jim Thome at first. Thome guarding the line in this situation. Tie game 2-2. And we're in the top half of the 8th inning. Shuey continues to throw in the Indians bullpen. O'Neill and then Martinez, the left-handed batters, and of course then it's Tim Raines, a switch hitter, and Strawberry, another lefty. So the Yankees do have a heavily laden left-handed lineup working tonight.
They usually do in New York, have that heavily laden.
Not a bad idea,
hitters.
is it?
Not in that ballpark.
Strike is called. It's 1-2. Assenmacher in relief of Nagy. And I tell you what, the way this game's been played and the moves that have been made and the way it's been pitched and played, it has definitely had a little fall flavor, hasn't it?
Well, yeah, it's the little things when you get into big games like this, and you know, going into it, you feel it may be a 1-run game, and you just never know. The Indians have moved runners, they finally gotten them in, but the Yankees, same thing. It's been a well-pitched ball game.
Strikes him out for the 10th time. He slams the bat down. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. The Indians need a run to take the lead. They'll have Vizquel leading off, then Manny Ramirez, and the cleanup hitter, Jim Thome.
The reason why manager Mike Hargrove brings Paul Assenmacher into the game to face Paul O'Neill. A good breaking ball gets him to swing and miss. You'll see the disgust on O'Neill. The Indians out of the 8th inning.
Now it's the bottom of the 8th inning, and Vizquel 0 for 1 officially, grounded into a double play his last time up. And a big punch in this Indians offense again tonight from Kenny Lofton. He has 3 of the 7 hits, and he has driven in both runs.
He is starting to warm up.
Boy, is he ever. Vizquel tries to serve a base hit to left and fouls it off.
Saturday home games at Jacobs Field. A group of lucky youngsters will spend some pregame time with this guy, Omar Vizquel. Thanks to All Sport. It's called Omar y Amigos, and it's a chance to visit with Omar and special guests each Saturday.
Vizquel again tries to go the other way and drops it in the seats. By the way, Kenny Lofton has his average up in the 290s again at 291 with his 3 for 4 performance tonight. Vizquel takes a look at a ball. 1-2 the count. Omar trying to get something started for the Indians in the bottom half of the 8th inning. A 2-2 ball game. A little bouncer hit weakly towards second base. Knobloch on the move. 1 out. Now Manny Ramirez 0 for 3 is grounded out, struck out, and flied out to center field so far tonight. One out and the base is empty. That's a good fastball for strike 1. Well, this guy really mixes his pitches well, doesn't he?
I mean, Manny, I'm sure he's seen so many breaking balls tonight, looking for that on the first pitch, and he throws a fastball by you.
A little bit low, 1-1. And of course, on that you have to credit to the catcher, don't you?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I'm saying Posada now has probably caught him in his first 2 starts. I'm not sure, but it's going to take a while to get a feel on how this guy pitches. So he may be calling a lot of his own game out there. He's been very impressive tonight.
Here's the 1-1 to Ramirez, way outside and back to the screen. Now, how does a pitcher call his own game?
Well, I mean, he'll put down. You'll see him shaking a lot, not coming, to agreement. Posada's been out there talking to him a couple of times. That's from the lack of knowledge of knowing each other. That comes with experience and time. That's what I'm saying. He'll shake him off. He'll turn, and I've seen him give a few signs to the catcher anyway.
2-1 on Ramirez. Manny steps out as Mike Jackson begins to loosen up and head for the bullpen mound. It's a 2-2 game, bottom half of inning number 8. Got that pitch in on him, and it's going to stay fair. Yes, it is. So there's the hustle of the pitcher. That
exactly
time pays off in and out.
It certainly did. He's been left, he's been right. He jams Ramirez with the fastball on the part of the plate, and Manny has to fall back. But this guy hustled over and got that ball right when it was on the chalk line. And Tim Cheetah calls it a fair ball. Check it out.
And
he gets over there, and it is.
And with Thome coming up, Joe Torre will make his first trip to the mound tonight. So he kept that ball from going foul, and he gets an out, the second in the inning. Joe Torre is going to take the baseball, and he's going to go to the bullpen. The Yankees will make their first pitching change. It comes here in the bottom of the 8th inning with 2 outs and nobody on. Graham Lloyd will check in for New York when we come back with more on Fox Sports Ohio. A strong performance by Hernandez. 122 pitches, 7 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 7 strikeouts, 3 walks, 2 runs. They are earned. He cannot be the loser. He also cannot be the winner as he turns it over to Graham Lloyd.
And Graham Lloyd having a terrific season for the Yankees, appearing in his 22nd game. He is 1-0 and a 162 earned run average. Just 16 2/3 innings, 8 hits, has only walked 2 and struck out 9, and has retired 29 of the last 33 batters he has faced in his last 15 appearances. And he has been awfully tough. Just a 145 batting average.
Thome is 0 for 6 with 3 strikeouts against Graham Lloyd. He bats with the bases empty and 2 outs, so each manager making the pitching change to a lefty in exactly the same spot. With 2 outs in the 8th, the starters depart, so both were outstanding tonight. It's up to the bullpens now. Thome has walked, struck out, and grounded out. The first 2 pitches to him are balls. Jim has walked once in facing Lloyd, and as I mentioned, struck out 3 times. Line drive, right field, base hit. Lloyd got that pitch up, and Thome hammered it into right. Well, run aboard.
Jimmy looking for the fastball in a 2-0 count, and he got it, and he hammered it into right field. That ball stayed middle of the plate and upstairs, and Jim Thome jumps all over it. May have been a little different if you're down in the count, but Jimmy ahead in the count and makes Graham Lloyd pay, and that's all he's going to face is the 1-hitter.
He gives up a hit to Jim Thome, the only batter that he was called on to face. Torre will go back to the bullpen. We'll go back to a break and return with more from Jacobs Field right after this.
Hi, I'm Rick Manning. I've worked so hard over
Of Indians games, BP will be making a donation to Jobs for American Graduates. It's the BP Big Play for Charity. And pitcher number 3 here in the 8th inning is the big right-hander Jeff Nelson.
Speaking of big plays, here's a big right-hander. Jeff Nelson, 6'8", appearing for the 33rd time, 3-3 with 2 saves, a 4.83 earned run average. Can be awfully tough on right-handers, even left-handers. He's got that slider. He will drop down to the side, throw that fastball. Coming on with 2 outs in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Jim Thome on first base. He will face Travis Fryman. Fryman 1 for 3 on the night. He doubled back in the 4th inning.
And Fryman is 4 for 14 against Nelson with a double, a triple, 5 runs batted in, but also 7 strikeouts. And I'm sure that most of those 7 strikeouts probably came on that slider.
Yeah, when you watch Nelson, he's way over on the rubber at the third base side. He's 6'8". When you come from the side, it's almost like you better put the front part of your jersey in your mouth so you can stay in there on it without bailing.
Exactly right. The Indians have the go-ahead run aboard with 2 outs in the 8th inning. Hernandez retired Vizquel and Ramirez to start the inning, then gave way to Lloyd, who gave up the base hit to Jim Thome. So now it's Nelson against Fryman. David Justice is on deck. Strike 1 is called. Fryman is fouled out to Martinez, dropped a double down the right field line, and grounded out to third baseman Scott Brocious. There was that breaking pitch, and he pops it up on the infield. Knobloch at second. We will head to the ninth, tied at 2. For the ninth inning tonight, it will be Tino Martinez, Tim Raines, and Darryl Strawberry due up. Ossenmacher, who got the strikeout of Paul O'Neill, will stick around to pitch this inning. Nelson coming out of the bullpen for the Yankees to record the final out. So Ossenmacher will have to deal with a lefty, a switch hitter, and a lefty. Tino Martinez is 2 for 8 against Ossenmacher, who starts him out with a good fastball at 87 miles an hour on the outside part of the plate. There are the numbers against Ossenmacher. One extra base hit for Tino against Paul, and it's a double. And he lines a base hit to center field. So the Yankees get the leadoff man and the go-ahead run aboard to start the top of the ninth inning.
Well, Paul tried to come back with that fastball, and Tino Martinez was ready for it. See, sitting away, and that pitch was down. Maybe a little too much of that plate, but Martinez drills it into center field. That's the 6th hit for the Yankees and a start to the ninth inning.
And for the Yankees, it is just the second time they've had the leadoff man aboard. Back in the 5th inning, Raines, who now bats, walked to lead off the inning, and that set the table for a 2-run inning for New York. The Indians answered that with a pair of runs on a 2-out base hit by Lofton in the 7th inning. Raines, in addition to that walk, has grounded out to second base twice as Mariano Rivera gets up for the Yankees. That was Fryman cheating in at third, but Ossenmacher goes to first for the second time. Charles Nagy started this game by retiring the first 11 and pitched very effectively. Ran into trouble only in that 5th inning. The base hit, number 6 for New York. The Indians have 8 tonight. Raines shows bunt and takes for a ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Raines has had good success against Ossenmacher. He's 4 for 9. They've all been singles. We're going to have a pinch runner.
Yeah, looks like it.
It's Homer Bush pinch running at first. Bush running for Martinez.
Pitch running for New York, Homer Bush.
These two managers have played it like it's fall.
Yeah, they want to. That's right. They want to end this right here if they can.
I think both realizing the importance of game 1 of this 4-game series. Bush at first. Raines takes a strike, and that time he did not show bunt. This is only the 13th game in which Bush has appeared. He does have a couple of stolen bases, and he's been caught once. Running at first for Martinez, who singled to start the Yankee ninth. Darryl Strawberry is on deck. And it was inside for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike on Tim Raines.
Well, he had the bunt on the first pitch, took it off on the second one, put it back on the third. Now he takes a long look at Willie Randolph, and he wants them to go through the signs again.
Homer Bush, a rookie, the only rookie on the Yankees opening day roster this year. Draws a throw from Ossenmacher. He's playing for the first time since June the 9th in his pinch running role here. Borders is going to go out and talk to Ossenmacher. The count on Tim Raines is 2-1. And we have a chance now to take a look at our Fox Sports News primetime headlines, brought to you by the Ohio Lottery. The Red Wings celebrate another Stanley Cup, and more on the Bud Selig situation as far as the permanent commissioner's job is concerned, and all the details of round 1 of the 1998 U.S. Open. Leadoff man aboard for New York. Back in the 4th inning, O'Neill had a 2-out double. And they also got a 2-out double from Chad Curtis in the 7th inning. Other than that, the 5th inning has been the inning, and there's a bouncer over the head of a drawn-in Fryman. Heading for 3rd on the play is Bush. He'll make it. And following to 2nd goes Rain. So it's 2nd and 3rd and nobody out on a one-hopper over the 3rd baseman's head.
Boy, that ball hit right out in front of home plate and bounces over the head of Fryman, and that's what the bunt does. It brings in the 3rd baseman, and it gets into left field. And now the mistake made here is that when that ball gets over the head, there's nothing he's going to do to stop Bush to get to 3rd base, but he could have stopped Tim Raines to get from getting to 2nd. You see, Bush was going to be in there easy. But when that throw went to 3rd base, Raines continued to go right into 2nd, and now they have to bring the infield in.
And Ossenmacher has to go for the punch out or the pop up of Darryl Strawberry. Strawberry takes a called strike 1. Darryl is flied out to deep center. He doubled and scored and lined out to center field. He's had some pretty good hacks up there tonight. You see his numbers, just 3 for 28 against Ossenmacher. And all he really needs to do is get this one out to the outfield someplace and give the Yankees the lead in the 9th inning.
Well, it'll be an interesting matchup next if he can get Strawberry without getting the run home. Posada on deck.
Swing and a miss. He's ahead in the count 1-2.
He's a switch hitter, and you look at it, it's 271 on both sides of the plate.
Yeah, so I guess it doesn't matter, does it?
Ossenmacher really takes something off that breaking ball, puts it in an excellent spot to get ahead in the count 1-2, and now can go for the punch out.
By the way, a Mark McGwire sighting in Houston tonight, number 33 off Shane Reynolds. Here it's 1-2 on Darryl Strawberry. The infield is in. Runners at 2nd and 3rd and nobody out. Struck him out.
All right, let's check out the pitch-by-pitch selection by Paul Ossenmacher to attack Darryl Strawberry. Fastball in a good spot, outside corner. Breaking ball misses. Then he gets this breaking ball, better location, gets him to swing at it. Now when he's looking for the breaking ball away, fastball up around the letters and gets Strawberry to chase, and he gets the 1st out.
Now they will intentionally pass Posada. Chad Curtis is on deck.
Well, that means that they'll probably go to the bullpen for the right-hander.
That will load the bases. This is the same strategy that the Indians used back in the 5th inning. And the Yankees made them pay for it. At that time, it was an intentional walk with 1 out to Chad Curtis, but Brocious and then the leadoff man Knobloch delivered the RBI singles. Mike Hargrove will go to the center of the diamond, and if you get a look at the back of Mike, he has already made the change. Number 30 is going to the mound to make a pitching change for the Cleveland Indians. Mike Hargrove has given up number 21. We'll give it up for a moment. Mike Jackson will come on when we come back on Fox Sports Ohio. Yankees have loaded the bases against Ossenmacher, and that brings on Mike Jackson.
Mike appearing for the 31st time. His record 0-1 and a 2.42 earned run average. He does have 13 saves in 26 innings. He's given up 22 hits, 2 walks, and 24 strikeouts. And he would love to have a strikeout here or a ground ball double play. Coming in with the bases loaded, just 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning.
Chad Curtis 0 for 6 against Jackson with a couple of strikeouts. Batting with the bases loaded. He doubled his last time up, officially 1 for 2 tonight. It was a late addition to Joe Torre's lineup. Originally the rookie Ricky Liddell. Or
Ledee.
Not Liddell. Ledee was penciled in as the starting center fielder, but it's been Curtis in center, picking up for Bernie Williams. 1 out, bases loaded. We're in the top of the 9th inning in a 2-2 ball game. Curtis checks his swing, but it's a strike call. Nasty slider at the knees on the outside corner.
Good hard slider. I think Curtis looking for it. He still couldn't hold up.
Back to two guys who were up earlier for the Indians, Mormon and Shuey. In the Indians bullpen. Curtis swings and misses. It's 0-2.
Well, you talk
high hard one that time.
You talk well after you start him off with a nasty slider, come back. You figure he may be looking for that pitch, and they get the fastball by him. Just puts that little doubt in your mind. That pitch at 93 miles per hour on supervision. The crowd getting into it now, and they want the punch out. Boy, you talk about matching up. This game has really been a great ball game.
It's 2-2. The game is on the line here in the 9th inning. Curtis strikes out.
Wow, Mike Jackson wasting no time. 3 straight pitches to Chad Curtis. Slider, fastball, slider. Gets the punch out. Boy, he didn't waste any time and had Curtis fooled on that one. Now the Indians an opportunity to get out of this one. Second and third, nobody out. But it's going to take another good performance because this guy having a good year, Scott Brocious.
And Brocious is 3 for 8 against Jackson, including a home run. Bats with the bases full, and with the bases full in the 5th inning and 1 out, he got an RBI single, chasing home the first New York run. Strike 1 is called. At 93-mile-an-hour fastball right on the inside part of the plate. It's 0-1. That is a bouncer. It's going to be trouble for Fryman. Not in time. And it's 3-2. No, it's a foul ball. It is a foul ball.
I did not even see home plate umpire Tim Cheetah make that call.
It's a foul ball. Here comes Joe Torre.
Now you see what happens. John Shulock is saying he saw the call, and he was the reason why he said safe. It wasn't safe. He was saying no play. Boy, a break for the Indians right here.
Let's take a look.
Well, that ball hit behind the plate. It did not get Brocious. You'll see the hands go up. Right. All right. So he made the call as soon as it went down. Now I don't know if he's saying it hit his foot.
Didn't look like it did on that replay.
It didn't hit his foot. It hit on the side of the plate. I think the Indians catch a break right here. Joe Torre going to come out and plead his case. But he did, and that replay you saw, he just said foul ball right off the get-go.
Well, I'll tell you what happens. Everybody was watching the ball trickle toward Fryman and knowing how tough a play it was going to be, so it's easy not to notice the home plate umpire, and Torre is not happy.
That ball hit right there behind the plate. There you'll see it. And Travis made a terrific play just to get this ball to Jim Thome and make it close.
They're on their feet now. Top of the 9th inning. Still a 2-2 ball game. It looked like the Yankees had taken the lead, but the ball was called foul. So now it's 0-2 on Brocious. And they are definitely into it now. Jackson just misses. 1-2.
Good slider right off the outside edge, and Brocious will not bite, so he stays alive.
2 outs, bases full. You got a piece of that one. Gives us a chance to remind you that during all of our Fox Sports Ohio Indians telecasts, First Merit Banks is donating $50 to the United Way if an Indian hits a home run. It's called First Merit's Home Runs for Hometown Charity, sponsored by First Merit Bank. Still 1-2. This has been a terrific baseball game to start this 4-game weekend series. Brocious really battling now. Got just a piece of that 93-mile-an-hour pitch that was up.
Mike Jackson wants a different baseball.
Top of the 9th. Fouled back again.
Boy, he's battling. He's fouled off a couple sliders and a fastball.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bush, Raines, and Posada the base runners. Just does get a piece of that one to stay alive.
He's pretty much throwing him everything. That was a little two-seam fastball trying to run down, and then he just got on top and got a piece of. So Mike Jackson reaching back, throwing everything he's got at Scott Brocious, and Brocious staying alive. Really a good at-bat.
Hanging tough, trying to give the Yankees the lead in the 9th inning. Here comes Jackson's pitch inside, 2-2. They are oohing and aahing with every pitch right now.
Well, this may be a setup pitch now. On the 1-2 pitch, he runs it inside to go back with that slider away.
Upstairs with a breaking ball, so it's come down to a 3-2 pitch, 2 outs, and the bases loaded. The runners will be on the move. Popped it foul, out of play. We'll do it again. Now, Brocious and Jackson, neither one is going to go down without a fight here in this at-bat.
You got it. What a battle this is. Yankees had started this inning with runners on 2nd and 3rd. Hasselmacher got the strikeout of Strawberry. They walk Posada. They get Curtis on the strikeout and looking to get out of this inning unharmed.
Oh my, so close. It's 3-2 New York. Joe Torre, of course, assumes that's justice for the miss on the foul, but it was just off the outside corner for a ball.
Well, what an at-bat. What an at-bat by Brocious. He worked that count from 0-2 to full and gets the walk on the outside edge. Just off the plate. Check it out on supervision. The Yankees take a 3-2 lead, a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Check out the reaction of Mike Hargrove.
Knobloch now takes ball 1 inside. Chuck is 1 for 4 in the ball game, had an RBI single in the 2-run 5th inning, and the Yankees have reclaimed the lead. The Indians have never been ahead. They tied it on Lofton's 2-out base hit in the 7th inning, and now down by 1. Thome makes the play, but the flip to first, not in time. It goes into the dugout. New York is going to get 2 runs and go up 5-2.
Well, that was a do-or-die play. It goes off the glove of Jim Thome. And David Bell, the only chance he had was just get it and throw it. It goes off the top of Mike Jackson's glove into the dugout. So it may go as a hit and an error. You'll see Knobloch going the other way. There's the deflection off Thome's glove. And that's a do-or-die play. You're trying to get out of the inning with Knobloch coming down the line. It goes off Jackson's glove into the dugout. And it is now 5-2, and there's runners at 2nd and 3rd.
It does go as an infield hit and an RBI for Knobloch. The error charged to the second baseman David Bell, and it's all of a sudden a big inning for New York. Runners still at 2nd and 3rd. That one is fouled away by Luis Sojo. Well, as far as this inning is concerned, you have to credit it, in my mind, to Scott Brocious. The battle that he put up against Mike Jackson.
You're absolutely right. A terrific at-bat that gave him the 1-run lead.
That one is fouled back off the mask of Pat Borders, and right now, I tell you, the scoreboard is not really sure what the score is. The score is 5-2. They had it at 6-2. Now they've reduced it to 4-2. We had too many bodies out there on the diamond. It is a 3-run 9th inning, and a bouncer toward Fryman at 3rd. He'll make the play to Thome, but the Indians trail by 3 as they come up for the bottom of the 9th inning. 5-2 is the score. 2 of those runs are earned. 1 is unearned. They are all charged to Paul Assenmacher, as the Yankees now will go to their closer, Rivera, for the 9th inning.
Rivera coming on for the 20th time, a 1-0 record and a 116 earned run average. He has 14 saves. Coming down, and this is the way he would like to have it, a 3-run lead to bring your closer in. Well, Joe Torre has that. After you thought so close the Indians were out of the 9th inning, and the next thing you know, there was a 3 spot put on the board by the Yankees. So Rivera coming on to face Justice, Witten, and Borders, the scheduled hitters.
The first one scored on the walk. Dale Swaim, who is part of this Yankee team, takes over for Martinez at first. And Ricky Ledee will be the left fielder.
First base number 17, Dale Swaim. Now pitching number 42, Mariano Rivera.
And Rivera, the new pitcher, out of the bullpen. Rick has given you his information. And he is on to face Justice, Witten, and Borders. The Indians trailing 5-2. The hits are even at 8 apiece. It looked like the Indians were going to get off the hook, but I'll tell you what, Scott Brocious would not let that happen, would he?
No, sir.
Two balls, no strikes on Justice. Rivera picked up a save on Sunday in that Yankee win. He pitched the last inning. He did give up 2 hits and a run, but still got the save. It was a 4-2 final, so he came in with a 3-run lead on that occasion, and he's fallen behind David Justice. 3 balls and no strikes. There's the strike.
That's what you have to do with Rivera. You've got to make him get that fastball down, because it explodes on you. He gets halfway there, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's by you.
Strike 2, full count. Justice had a hit off of him on Sunday. I think Mike was too thrilled about that call, and maybe some of the calls in the previous inning, but nonetheless, it's a 5-2 Yankee lead as the Indians bat in the bottom of the 9th. Justice taps it foul. It remains 3-2. Full count on David Justice. Game 1 of this 4-game series, and Justice just does stay alive as he rolls it off his body into the playing field, and he'll have to try to walk that one off.
Yeah, I know. That one's in on the hands. That was ball 4, but it looked like that one's almost like a cutter as it runs in on the hands of David, and he just, and that went off his thigh.
Yes.
I've never seen a ball hit that high up on your leg.
It's 3-2. Justice trying to get something going in the bottom of the 9th inning. Comebacker. Rivera will take care of Justice for out number 1. So David 1 for 3 in the ball game tonight. He did score one of the 2 Indians runs in their 2-run 7th inning. The Yankees got 2 in the 5th off Charles Nagy, and then scored 3 times in the 9th. All those runs charged to Assenmacher, and Mark Whitten, who singled and scored in the 7th, is 1 for 3. Pat Borders due up next. Sandy Alomar, though, is going to grab a bat and get ready to pinch hit. Strike 1.
Well, down 3 runs. Indians taking a strike.
Now it's no balls and 2 strikes to Mark Whitten, who is 0 for 4 against Mariano Rivera, 0 for 1 this year. Yankees trying to take game 1. Tomorrow it'll be Jarrett Wright and David Cone. We'll have Indians game time at 6:30, including live coverage of the ceremonies and the retirement of Bob Lemon's number. Still 0-2. And the game at 7 right here on Fox Sports Ohio. No balls, 2 strikes. This game in the hands of Nelson and Assenmacher. That one rides in and hits him.
Well, tough way to get a base runner, but they get one. He likes to pitch inside the left-handers and run that ball in, but this one a little too deep. Mark Whitten's got a turn. You'll see him take it. That's got to hurt. That's 95 miles an hour.
Here comes Sandy, who hit one of the more dramatic home runs of his career against the Yankees in the playoffs last year.
The fly well hit the right field. Track wall tied.
Part of the drama of the division playoffs that brought the Indians back, and it was Sandy Alomar who got a double off Rivera in the 9th inning in Yankee Stadium on Sunday. Here, even if he hits it out, it doesn't help. The Indians are down by 3. What they need are base runners. David Bell is on deck, and Sandy pulls it to third. It hops off the chest of Brocious. He'll get one at second, and Sandy able to beat it out at first. So the Indians are down to their final out.
Well, Sandy hit this ball on the nose. Brocious had this ball. Watch it hop out of his glove. It's a tough hop. Keeps it right there. Is able to catch it in midair to get the first out. And then Knobloch's going to go ahead and try and turn it. They make it close, but Sandy beats it out and keeps the inning alive.
For David Bell, the Indians need one more base runner to get the potential tying run to the plate. Kenny Lofton moves out on deck. He's had another big night, 3 for 4. He went 3 for 3 against the Yankees on Sunday, so he is now 6 for 7 against New York this season. Ball 1 to Bell. Bell facing Rivera for the first time. David has struggled of late. He's 0 for 3 tonight. 0 for his last 16. 1-1. Bouncing ball, foul outside of third. It's 1-2. Well, a couple of turning points in this ball game. You go back to the 0-2 situation with Raines in the 5th inning, where Charles Nagy wound up walking him. That was the key at bat. It set the Yankees up. Strawberry then doubled, and they eventually got both of those runs home. But then in the 9th, the battle that Brocious put up against Jackson, finally working a walk on a 3-2 pitch after he fouled away 5 or 6 pitches in that at bat. That drove in the go-ahead run. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. And of course, the infield hit for Knobloch, who picked up his 2nd run batted in. He and Brocious each with 2 RBIs in the ball game tonight, and then the throwing error by Bell allowed the 3rd run to score, and it's 5-2 New York. Full count, 3-2. Line towards center field. Back is Chad Curtis on the run and makes the play. The Yankees take game 1 of this series. The final tonight is 5-2. A well-pitched, well-played ball game on both parts. It took 3 hours and 5 minutes to get it done, and the Yankees win it tonight. 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors for New York. The Yankees tonight stranding 6 men. They scored 3 in the 9th to win it. And for the Indians tonight, they come up with 2 runs, 8 hits. They made 1 error. It cost them a run in the 9th inning. And the Indians in this ball game tonight strand 7 men. Well played, well pitched, and the Yankees came out on top.
I'll tell you, the score really doesn't show how this game was. This was a terrific ball game right from the start. The Indians had a the Yankees had a 2-0 lead. Kenny Lofton's at-bat was a terrific at-bat to bring the game back to even. And I'll tell you, the big turning point is right. Scott Brocious, he had 2 RBIs out of the 3 runs at that point. Then the Knobloch hit. And I'll tell you what, excellent ball game to start this 4-game series.
Yankees get 3 in the 9th. They win it. The final tonight is 5-2. No home runs for the Indians in the ball game. That means no more money for First Merit. Our season total stands at $1,850. Tomorrow night, round 2. We'll have Indians game time at 6:30. The play-by-play at 7. Stay tuned now for Fox Sports News Primetime. For Rick Manning, Matt Underwood, and our entire crew here at the stadium, I'm John Sanders. Good night, everybody. See you tomorrow.
This is Fox Sports News. Round 1 of the U.S. Open is in the books. We'll show
Cleveland's to try and stop a red-hot Darryl Strawberry and the rest of the Pinstripes. For that matter, let's check it out. There's Orlando El Duque looking for numero tres. Looked sharp in the first. Kenny Lofton, sit down. Third inning, Manny Ramirez goes down swinging, can't find it. Jim Thome, you're a victim. He had 7 Ks on the night for El Duque. 7th inning, though, in a little bit of trouble. Lofton up with 2 men on. Lofton says, this time I got you. A base hit, 2-run score. But look at Lofton. Picked off there on his way to second. We're tied at 2. Top of the 9th, still tied up. Mike Jackson works with the bases juice. Jackson walks Scott Brocious. That's a run in. 3-2 Yanks. Next batter, Chuck Knobloch's ground ball goes off Tome's glove. David Bell throws it away. 2-run score. Jackson can't believe it. Yeah, it happened to you, and it's ugly. Yankees win it 5-2, so the Yanks win their 49th. El Duque went 7 2/3 innings, gave up 7 hits, 2 runs, but he had 7 Ks.
Red Sox and Devil Rays and Mo Vaughn. Well,
Ready to go.
he's happy before the game, but all business when it starts. Top of the 5th, Red Sox up 3-2. Dennis Springer.
Up the middle, long run.
Mo Vaughn up the middle on Springer. John Valent and Nomar Garcia-Parra both in. Sox up by 3. Bottom of 8, Wade Boggs on second. Fred McGriff on first. Bobby Smith, the pinch hitter. That's why he's pinch hitting. He gets the hit. Boggs in from second. Fred McGriff. Get the Steinway off your back. Well, he gets in anyway. Game tied at 5. Top of the 10th. Runners on first and second for Troy O'Leary.